What's up? My name's Jack Dora, and this is my garage. What's going on, guys? Today we are checking valve clearances on the race bike, getting it ready for this season. 2005 CBR600RR. I'll be honest though, it's my first time doing valves on an inline four. I've done it on V-twins, a bunch of Ducatis, but this will be my first time with an inline four. So I think it'll be fairly straightforward. Just in case, we got our handy dandy cheat sheet right here. So that should help get us out of trouble when we run into a wall at some point, which I'm sure will happen, but we'll figure it out. All right, so I went ahead and got the air box removed. This is the top cover to it here. It has all the injector stuff connected to it. So we went ahead and left that attached, just sort of flipped it out of the way. The rest of the air box, air filter, all that, we got out of there. I do have the throttle bodies taped over right now, just so we don't drop anything down there. And then I've got spark plugs pulled already. All right, coil hookups are off, coils are out. Throttle cable's out of the way. Now we can start loosening up these valve cover bolts. There we go. Let's see if that gave us enough room to tackle this Cracker Barrel puzzle. We're gonna free up a little bit of extra space, undo the top mounts for this radiator and unhook one of the hoses so we can just lean it forward, get it out of the way. It should give me better access to these exhaust valves and I won't be craning my wrist to get in there so much. There should be a little copper washer on this, which there is. That's better. Now we got all the room to get to these guys in front. This tiny little indent right there. That is our top dead center. And that's the T mark. There's a T from the left and then there's a straight line right next to it. So we want that straight line just to the right of the T to line up with this indicator right here. You can just see that IN and the flat line lines up with the top, and same thing with our EX, and that flat line lines up with the top of the case here. All right, so we got our throttle bodies removed, or at least pulled out of the way. Got our radiator pulled out of the way. We got good access now for our valves. So these are going to be our intake valves. These are going to be our exhaust valves back here on this cam. They should both be pretty easy to get to now. We do have to check them in order and follow the sequence that's in the book. So let's take a look here. So round one, we're going to be checking the two intake valves for cylinder 1 and the two intake valves for cylinder 3. Then we're going to rotate the crank half a turn, and we'll check exhaust numbers 2 and 4. I'm going to rotate it another half, and then we'll do intake 2 and 4, and then exhaust 1 and 3. All right, so round 1 intake. Looks like the book wants our clearance to be 0.20 millimeters plus or minus 0.03 millimeters. So our tolerance is between 0.17 and 0.23 millimeters. We will start with 0.15. Easy peasy. Easy. Good and good. We're gonna work our way up. Next is 0.18. As far as resistance goes, you want them to feel about like if you were to slide this in between the pages of a closed book, about that much resistance. At least that's the rule of thumb I've been told. I kind of like that. It's worked well. For me, the mileage may vary. Here we go. Right. 1 and 3. We're at 0.18. That one feels good. Good. It'll go, but it is tight and good. Moving up, 0.20. Tight. Tight. Obviously tight and good. And last but not least, on cylinder 3, the right one will try a 0.23, which is my next size. And that is tight. Actually won't go. So we wanted 0.17 to 0.23. Intake number 1. These two were both good with a 0.18. This one, cylinder 3 on the right side, was good with a 0.20, and then the left side of cylinder 3 was tight with a 0.18. So we're going to use two together here. We've got a 0.13 and a 0.04. That'll give us a 0.17, which is our smallest clearance. We're going to put those two together and give that a shot just because it was so close whether that was good or not. So we're going to double check a 17 instead of an 18. And that feels good. So we'll call that one good. All right, so next we need to rotate our crank halfway around. Look for our timing marks. We want to be careful when we do this too, because we are leaving that valve cover gasket in place, just because we are good and sealed over on this side where the gasket sealer goes. Make a gasket. So we're going to leave that in place if we can. But we want to be careful that it doesn't get chewed up and sucked in anywhere as we're rotating the engine. We do have some things. We got our cams over here, cam ends on this side, and that stuff does turn. It can grab. We don't want to replace that if we don't have to. Round 2, exhaust number 2 and 4. So we're on the exhaust side now. We're going to be doing number 2 and number 4. 2 and 4. And our clearance for this ideally is 0.28 plus or minus 3. So we're looking at 0.25 to 0.31. Start with 0.23. Cylinder number 2. Good. 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 And good. Move up to a 2.5. Feels good. That one's good, just a little grabby on the way out, but it doesn't take much effort to get it in there. I'm okay with that. That one feels good. And we're good there. Yeah, it feels great going the other way from the other side. So we're good there. 0.25 all around. Move up one to a 0.28. I don't think this one's gonna go on any of them. that one feels okay there. That one is tight. Get it. A little snugger than I'd like it, but that's okay. We're within range for both of those. On cylinder number 4, a little tight at 0.28, but a little loose at 25, so right in between there for both of these valves. And then on number 4, I'm good with calling both of those at 28, even though, nope, we're good with all 4 of those. 28, most of my, so between 25 and 31, all 4 of those are good. That was confusing. Why are maths hard? Another rotation. Half a rotation. Can't see my gasket. You guys tell me if that gasket moves. Perfect. Did our gasket move? No? Alright, nice job. Camera did. Okay, back to intake. Round 3, now number 2 and 4. Again, we're looking for 0.17 to 0.23. So we'll start at 15. Number 2, boop, 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 boop. All good there. 18. Number 2, feels good. Just fine. Okay, 18. Good across the board. 20. Number 2. Feels good. That's probably going to be where those stay. And same. We might be at 20. 20 for all of them. 23. Snug. Won't go. I'll write those down. Number 4, still using 23. It'll go but tight and won't go. Right on the money. Should be 0.20. That's what we got for all 4. For the 4th and final round. One more turn. One more turn. Half turn. Got it. All right, and the only one left. Only 2 left. Round 4, exhaust numbers 1 and 3. Exhaust, we're looking for 0.25 to 0.31. So we'll start with 1 under, 0.23. Exhaust number 1 and 3. Exhaust number 1 and 3. Number 1, good. 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 And good. 23, pacifying colors. 25. Number 1, smooth, smooth, good, and good. 25 makes it through. 28. Getting a little grabby. Same, not bad though. Smooth and a little grabby. It's probably going to be the limit, but we'll go up one more. 0.3. 0.3. Number 1. Oh, that one doesn't work. Gimme! This one was, first valve was a little grabby, second one was tight, third one is grabby, and fourth one's grabby. So I don't like that for any of them. I don't like 30. So we'll stick with 28 across the board. Even if we wanted to call 30 good for any of those, it does go to 31, and I'm confident 31 would have been way too tight for all of them. So I'm gonna stick with 28 across the board on all of those. I'm happy with that, which is also right where we want to be. So everything was within spec, which is amazing. That never happens. This was rebuilt not terribly long ago, but long enough ago for a track bike that I wouldn't have been surprised if anything was off. So we don't have to change any of the shims, which is good. If we did, then we would be, let's see, we'd be taking off this bridge, this bridge, this bridge. All those cam bridges come off. That way we can get our cams out of there, and then underneath those cam rocker arms are little buckets. We'd use a magnet, pull those buckets out, and then just replace the shim based on whatever change we needed done. And then also, where are we at? Where are you? Here, boop, right there is our automatic tensioning cam chain tensioner, right there. So we would take that out also, because in order to get these cams removed, we're gonna have to sneak them out from underneath this chain, and it's not gonna do that with the tensioner in place. So we'd have to remove that tensioner and undo the cam chain, tie a zip tie around it, tie that zip tie around the frame somewhere so it doesn't fall down in the case. That's a big deal. But pretty straightforward in changing the clearances, just a little bit of time. So, yay! Let's start getting this thing put back together. Yeah, that looks better. I think. Maybe I did nothing, but I feel good about it. That's important. Probably. Maybe. Maybe not. So the two little half moon jobbies on the cam side, those would normally get, if we did have to pull this valve cover gasket out, those would get re-sealed with some gasket maker, 3-bond, Yamabond, whatever your preference is. But we didn't. That's still, those plugs are still sealed in there really well. So we're gonna have to finagle the gasket up into the valve cover a little bit. But in order to make sure that we have a nice good seal, this doesn't get sealed, it's just a pressure fitting. So we're gonna take a rag here with some rubbing alcohol on it, just to kind of degrease that mating surface. Make sure there's no debris in there that's gonna cause us an oil leak. See some of that gasket left behind there, which is okay, just because we're using the same gasket, it's gonna probably sit in the same place, but if it's easy enough for us to get to, if we can pull that out, we know it won't cause us an issue. I'm talking right next to the camera. Am I yelling in your ear? Do you like it? Okay. Don't be weird about it. I cannot see what I am doing, but I can feel it. It feels oh so smooth. Plugs are still solid in there, so we're good with that. I usually will just go ahead and pull it, but they were stuck in there so well, I decided to leave them this time. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it's a terrible idea. Then you get to watch me do it all over again. Got a couple little hairs here, little stragglers. Can I just throw that in the intake? Nah. Can I keep it in here? Is that helpful? Be normal. It's got these little stays on here, so the first thing we'll do is line those up, and then that should make it easier to get the rest of that gasket in place. Make sure it's good and snug, pushed down all the way around. Why is that not? Oh, because they're putting it in from the cam side. Why didn't you stop me? That is going to be on the far side. That's why nothing was lining up. That makes sense. Let's try again. Duplicity of work is my specialty. But by the time I get something put together, I know it's right because I did it 5 times. Hopefully this saves you guys from doing that, if you ever do this. All right, those look like they line up way better now. crazy. Probably why they put all this stuff off center. So you notice stuff. I would have figured it out eventually. Probably when I went to put it in and couldn't. Out of the way, hose. Usually once you get these valve cover gaskets up in the channel, they typically tend to want to stay there. So that'll be helpful as we work it in all the way around. Nobody wants a leaky race bike. Double check, triple check, triple check, double check. Gasket's good. We're all sitting right where we should be. So we'll start putting our valve cover bolts back in, and then we have to torque them down to an amount of number. Good. Valves are done. We're going to work on getting our intake manifold back where it's supposed to be. We can hook up our little vacuum, I don't know what it does, our little coolant line to the bottom of it there. And then our other little things that odds and ends that we undid. And we're back. So I'm going to be got this all cleaned up, and going to be putting the throttle bodies back in place and going from there. Man, good thing I put this tape on here. That totally wasn't a waste at all. Trying to look clean. I am going to take a little bit of Maxima assembly lube. I like this stuff. It smells like cinnamon schnapps, which is weird. I don't know why they did that, but they did. So I like to take a little bit of this and just put it inside, just on that inner lip of our boots here. I don't know why I started with that one. That's weird. Just to help them slide on. Not using very much at all here. See, this one got a little chewed up at one point. Somebody put her on crooked, looks like. So not damaged on that inner lip, just on the outside of it. And we'll try to not do that again when we put it on. When you and I put it on together. Just enough to make it shiny. Shiny things are happy things, unless they're tires. Easy does it. All right. Gonna line this all up as best we can. What are we fighting with here? Coolant line. That's a good start. Solid. Put this guy back on. Click. All right. Can fish this back through. Oh, where did we go? Over the top and betwixt behind the fork. Untangle them. They probably like that. There we go. Before I forget, better do that little coolant hose on the bottom of this job. Doesn't really matter what it was. It was in the way, so we made it not in the way. Now it's not in the way, so we put it back. Okay, I don't know why I chose to do that with a light shining in my eyes. That didn't help. Anyway. Now we can remake our connections for our injectors, and we can put the bottom half of the air box on. I'll just throw that down there for now. That's fine. Ugh. Oh, my O-ring! Nuts. Our O-ring may have grown slightly. That's okay. It's only slightly. Get our ram air ducts in place, and we gotta attach our. Oh, there's no way to get to that, is there? Before we do that, gotta hook up this here crankcase breather hose to the airbox, which it is now, and those are good, and those are good. Happy, 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 joy, joy. Now we can put on our little stack of jobs. But I see that our stacks are going to be in the way of our air filter retention clips, which are here, 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 and here. Little gold ones. So let's put our air filter in first, which is dry because I cleaned it. So we've got our air filter, and we've got some PJ1 fabric filter oil treatment spray. Clean air filter with spray, did. Dry filter thoroughly, done. Should be shaken thoroughly and applied liberally to the inner and outer surfaces. Roger. Do not apply at temperatures below 70. Oh man, wouldn't that be nice? You gotta get it from all angles. No dry spots. Thanks, PJ1. Ow, you pinched my finger. I said thank you. Rude. Great news. Mama screws. Can we do this without loosening the things? Which is not what you should. Don't be lazy. Bad idea. Good idea. With our bottoms lined up, now we can put in these guys. 1, 2. Our injectors will spray right down into those. Let's make sure those little retainer clips on the bottom are snugged up. We did this whole thing to make sure we could still get to these. Yep, and they're tight. These little plastic fins right here, they make sure that you can't get to those without taking these out. I don't know why it's so important for these to be out. If you're gonna change the filter, I don't really see the point in the order, but whatever. Not Japanese, not an engineer. Didn't make the bike. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Maybe it's even good. Solid. The bottom of the airbox is in. Now, before we go reattaching all of this, I can make sure it lines up and make sure that we have some connections for the things that want to be connected. Like this. Clink. Good. So this goes to the gas tank. And that just leaves one little lone plug with no tape on it. Why is that? You have a friend, and you have a friend. I know where your friend is. You have a friend, you have a friend. Just you. It's just you. You're all alone. All alone. We're going to quick review a wiring diagram. How about that? Let's do it. All right. Gonna put all our screws back in, both layers of airbox. And then once we get that squared away, we can drop the fuel tank in. We are ready to hook the fuel tank back up. So we're gonna need to run in this here band bolt to 22 Newton meters. Gets a washer on either side. Crush washer. 22 Newton meters with a size 8 mil hex. 8 mils big. Our other little plug doesn't go anywhere. Is it working? Are we doing it? I don't know. I can't tell. Careful. Oh, that'll cut your hand. Fifth, 15th time's a charm. Okay, so I think we're supposed to start under the tank. Then there's a gap here where I think the wires come out from along under and then go along to the rest of the battery. I'm going with that. Problem is, oh, there you go. Nothing. I didn't see any problem. Who's got a problem? Great success. Got a new battery coming for it, but I threw the old one in. I'm gonna try to hook that up quick, and then a bunch of other stuff I need to move around and adjust and do still, but I'd like to try to fire it up. I don't have any coolant in it yet. I just want to make sure it runs before I go any further. And the new battery will not have these stupid floating things in it. These are the worst. Yes, made it all the way through. Plinko, jackpot. After some not very YouTube appropriate words, the battery's all hooked up. So now we can see if everything works. I'm not gonna let it warm up because, like I said, it doesn't have any coolant in it, but we can see if it runs. We did it! Smells good. And we're back! All right, back at it today. We're gonna get this radiator mounted back up, get the coolant flushed the rest of the way, fill it up with coolant, and see what we can do to wrap this thing up. All right, we got one more spot to drain our coolant from, and that is the bottom of the cylinder. So there's a drain bolt. I'm not even going to try to show you because it is in a ridiculous location. Pretty much right at the bottom of the number 2 header, just under the exhaust opening. Oh, Can I unspin it with my fingers? No, because I can't get to it with my fingers. This better be worth it. Might just hold it right in place. If I can. It's draining. Not a lot. If that's it. Oh boy. I'm gonna wish I didn't do it. Oh, I think I got it started. Neat. That was awful. That was stupid. Don't do that. It's not worth the, I don't know, half cup of fluid coolant you get out. I was told it has engine ice in it. I don't like to trust what other people tell me when it comes to fluids. Has to be glycol free for the track. So we got it all out now. Done. Let's put some Maxima Kool-Aid in it. Get her topped off. All right, so that pretty much filled up our radiator. That was our first jug. Took the drain bolt out of our water pump. Made sure we were flushed there, which we are. Now that we got our coolant all topped off, we are going to call this valve job done. Huge thanks to all of you that made it to the end of this video. I appreciate all 5 of you. Hi, Mom. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see what comes next, including Frankensteining together a clutch for this Ducati. And we just got in a YZ125 that's all locked up, and we need to figure out why. Also, something really cool for this thing came in. I haven't opened it yet. I can't wait to share it. So I appreciate you being here. I'll see you on the next one.